It's time for the LowcoSports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Arraj.
Happy Friday and welcome to tonight's LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. I am Wes Kerr alongside Max Arraj. Justin Jarrett is trying to relax after another busy day of coaching baseball. But myself and Max will be here to talk to you about all things local sports on this Friday night. And we'll be joined momentarily by the man and woman of the hour, Bracken Lambert and Gina Montfort at USCB, to talk about a tremendous milestone, or at least announcement of what will be over there at University of South Carolina Beaufort. I was there to catch what was said and what was revealed over at that meeting. So a lot of exciting stuff over there, and a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon potentially in the next few weeks over for the Sand Sharks. We'll get to all that very soon. But Max, how are you doing here on this evening?
I'm doing good. It's been a long week. Ready for the weekend, very long week. Regarding today, I do have something to share with you guys in my final thoughts, but I'll leave it at that. A Low Country legend is leaving the Low Country, so I wanted to give you guys just a little teaser for our final thoughts. But yeah, it's been a great week. Youth basketball summer season just began. Practices have begun. I am a head coach for one of those teams this year, so I'm very excited for that. I'm going to be coaching a 9 to 10 boys basketball group, so I'm very excited. Found that out this week after a parent had dropped out, so I took over the coaching role, and I'm very excited for it. But other than that, it's been a great week. Just getting ready for the weekend. Time to relax for me. Get 2 days off, so I'm gonna relax and probably watch some baseball. But other than that, it's been a great week. How about you, Wes?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Just hanging out. Good afternoon. Went to the pool, chilled out for a bit, and then came home, had dinner, and got ready for this podcast here tonight. And always great to have you on, Max, as we talk about some big news as mentioned over at USCB, but a couple of other pointers to go along with that as well. First, our show is presented by Mickelson Law Firm, the official sponsor and the all-star sponsor, official real estate closing attorney, and presenting sponsor of Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. You can call Mickelson Law Firm for all your legal needs. Our presenting sponsor of the Local Sports Lowdown presents our esteemed guests here tonight, Bracken Lambert and Gina Montfort of USCB. Thank you both for coming on, and there is a lot of excitement over on USCB's campus. I was there yesterday for the unveiling of some major news in the works in the years to come. So, Brack and Gina, why don't you guys start us off and tell us what we were able to witness and the excitement that is building over there, the land of the Sand Sharks.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of excitement, not necessarily completely done yet with the process, waiting on some county approval, but there is, thanks to our state legislators, we have about $40 million already pledged to facilities for athletics and for our community as part of this project. And there's been a lot of talk about an arena and a convocation center, which we're super excited about. But most for us who've been in athletics for a long time at USCB, the biggest part of that is bringing our baseball and softball team home. And it's been long overdue and something we've been working on for a long time. So a lot of great momentum we haven't had in a while. As Dr. Upshaw used to say, we sometimes kiss a lot of frogs before we find the prince. And I think we're really moving in that direction. So what you're seeing on the screen now is that convocation center we talked about, which will not only house basketball, eventually it would house volleyball once we're able to add volleyball, which there is not a timeline yet for that. It will depend on funding for operations and for scholarshiping, but would also house trade shows, local high school graduations, which I think is a great ad for this community as someone who's had two sons graduate so far from Lofton High, and both have been a weather possibility of having to move inside and just that stress on families, like obviously adds a lot of space. That convocation center is supposed to 5,500 seats, 19,000 square foot of floor space.
Wow.
So a lot of great possibilities for events here in the Low Country that does not always mean us having to go to either Charleston or Savannah. So very excited, not only for the future of basketball and us being able to tip off in there eventually, and then obviously host volleyball there, but just really what that means and what it can bring to our community in regards to tourism and really just support our local community as well.
Yeah, and Gina, we were discussing this. Me and Wes discussed this on our last show on Wednesday, of just the idea of it. Not only is it great for the University of South Carolina Beaufort, but also for the community of Beaufort County as well, to have a facility such as this, especially for major community events as well as concerts and stuff like that. That not only will bring money to USCB but also to the community as well. So I when I saw the first pictures of this, I thought this is an amazing opportunity for the community as well as for the University of South Carolina to take Beaufort to take the next step in terms of athletics. I think that's it's absolutely beautiful, and I got to see pictures of the rest of the the project's renderings, and I'm absolutely amazed by it, and I'm very excited for this, and I'm sure you guys are just as excited as we are.
We are. And so one thing sometimes people don't understand is that actually our campus is on Beaufort County and Jasper County property. And so with the growth of Jasper County and the expansion of the Exit 8 project with Buc-ee's and everything else, just like what it's going to bring and how much Jasper County is growing as well. I think it really links the two counties well together, and just things that we need in this community as we continue to grow Beaufort County and Jasper County.
Yeah, for
Talking more about just the setup of the convocation center around the area where we expect it to eventually be built. There's mention of hotels around that arena as well, alongside some other amenities that's going to make it really accessible to everyone and an outstanding place to visit for, as we said, basketball games, potential other sports as well, volleyball, graduations, even concerts. So incredible multi-purpose facility that will amplify the engagement and the excitement of so many different entities here in the Low Country. So, just talk to me more about the planning of that and what amenities could potentially be alongside it, including hotels and parking and all of those logistics. And then not too far away, a potential baseball and softball field on campus. So just talk to me about kind of what you guys have been thinking, obviously, just the planning phase right now. We still have a long way to go in terms of the entire process, but just logistical thoughts about how we could see or where we could see these different facilities built in the coming years.
Yeah, so like the convocation center will be toward the front of our property, closer to 278. Eventually, there's talk of possibly being a pedestrian bridge that we go across 278 that will allow for easier access, and then additional parking opportunities, a parking structure as part of that. And as you said, a hotel is not part of the money that's been designated from the state or that we're trying to, have pledged from the county, but would be external. And there is some interest in that. So that way we can host convocation or convention type events with hotel readily accessible. Obviously with athletics, it makes a lot of things that we do very easy. If we're going to host tournaments for baseball, softball, as we host officials, we house our officials for baseball, softball. Having those facilities on campus would be very easy. A great access. And then it just allows us to bring in more opportunities. Again, have a concert and can stay on campus and stay right there at the hotel and walk literally across the street or across the parking lot. I think it obviously brings a lot of opportunities. So it would be an external project from this, but it is part of the planning document, the planning phase. And as you said, bringing baseball, softball home, adding a track to campus. So that would have a great impact on our student athlete population. We're looking at around 250 student athletes this year, and about 150 of them are leaving campus on a pretty much daily basis to either go practice or compete. And that's with track and field, baseball, softball. So having those students on campus obviously provides greater safety. It provides a better experience for our student athletes, obviously helps recruiting. And then, just even operations wise, as we still operate with a pretty lean staff. And so being able to walk outside and our fields being right there, as opposed to this commute to Hardyville that we have. And then the ability really just to operate athletic training a little bit better. And they're a little bit more accessible to all those teams that are practicing and competing on campus. And then obviously, adding track and field on campus opens a lot of possibilities in us being able to host meets, high school meets, college meets, collegiate meets, and then just a lot of opportunities, and really the sky's the limit based upon really what we want to do and what we're able to do. And so just all really exciting things that we get to do here at USCB if this project, as we see it complete.
Yeah. Bracken, your thoughts on the whole project? Obviously you do the show with us, the Sand Shark Rewind every weekend, especially during the school year. And your thoughts on all of this as someone who's been a part of USCB athletics for a while now. I mean, just give me your thoughts on just seeing this project come to fruition and now, being officially revealed to the public. I mean, just give me your whole thought process on it, man.
I mean, this has been something that we've been talking about since, Gino was in the business office and I was a student. I mean, this is right. I started at USCB in 2010 and I didn't know about Hardyville until the first day I went out there. And I was like, oh, thank you, James Duffy, my neighbor, who was like, hey, do you want to call me? That's honestly how I started. And then, JJ was like, are you going to keep coming? And so I just kept coming. And then we talked so throughout my tenure as a student, we talked about how we're going to I remember a couple of renderings that were sitting in the office, and Gina, you probably remember, that had like a water overlook, there was a big gym that had glass walls that you could look out and look at the baseball field and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that was a rendering that was made 15 years ago. And
right.
For just as like a fan, I would consider myself a fan first of this program. I'm excited. I think it's great. I mean, I love the moments that we've made in Hardyville, but the moments can stay in Hardyville and let's get us on campus. We've been saying it. I mean, we've been saying it for years. Okay, hey, this is the year. Okay, this is gonna be our last year. This is what we were. What the thought process was. And I really, now that we have a little bit more of a concrete idea, it's like to get football and softball on campus is going to be a complete game changer, and to be able to bring not only tournaments, depending on what the surface of the field is, whether it be turf or all natural, you can still host tournaments, and that's going to bring more eyes to the campus because we really do have one of the best campuses in the country, I feel like. And like Gina was saying about the track, collegiate meets, high school meets, and then being able to do all of those other things. And then just from a logistical standpoint, making sure, oh, hey, I don't have to run 15 minutes back to Hardyville or back to the campus if I forgot something. It's just a whole lot easier. You can build everything right there. And if you build it, they will come, to quote our favorite Field of Dreams or baseball movie.
Right.
Right.
And now we have to see it go into fruition right here in the Low Country. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Bracken, fan first. I mean, I've lived here in the Bluffton, Beaufort County area for pretty much most of my life, except for 2 years of my 24 years of existence. And I have grown up watching USCB baseball when they first started, and watching those teams, the team that made it to the NAI World Series. I came out to USCB games back in the day when I was a kid, just because it was really the only college baseball program in this area, and it still is to this day within Beaufort County and Jasper County at least. And I grew up watching them at Richard Gray, so I got a lot of memories there, not only as a broadcaster, especially like Wes as well, but also coming as a kid watching them play. And always hoping, what the next step, or thinking about what the next step is going to be. And I can't be more excited about this project. And I'm sure you guys, like I said, are just as excited as myself and Wes are. And I'm sure Justin Jarrett is extremely excited about this next step for USCB athletics and for the community as well. So, give us, like, I guess, the next step is, I guess, funding would be the next step for you guys, figuring out the funding aspects of it. What is the next step to move this project forward?
So my understanding, so I don't sit in those facility meetings. That's Quinn Monahan, our AD.
Okay.
But from the meeting last night, it's waiting on Beaufort County Council for approval for their approval. And once we get that, then things start rolling. And then priority wise is baseball and softball, getting them to campus and out of Hardyville. And Hardyville was good for us. And, as JJ said in a comment, we were only supposed to be in Hardyville for 3 to 5 years, and we've been there for much longer than that. And so it's time to get our Sand Sharks home. It's something we've dreamed about for a really long time, really since the point that we started athletics. And as Bracken said, that's something that we've had conversations about for a long time. And I mean, y'all work with us. You see what basketball's been able to do in regards to fan engagement. And so the thought of being able to bring baseball and softball home and be able to duplicate some of that with baseball and softball in our fields and our basically turf, to be able to do that is exciting. And the thought of having just the ability to walk out of people's offices, the ability for us to have later games where that way we can get more community there. Just is things that we're really looking forward to, because I think it's going to be a huge game changer. We have coaches that are recruiting extremely well in D2, and we're competitive. But it would make their jobs a lot easier when it comes to recruiting.
No doubt.
And I mean, you're exactly right. You're exactly right about that, Gina. I mean, we've talked about this before regarding baseball and softball. With the right facilities, students and student athletes will come with the right facilities. They will see those fields when they're built and say, wow, yeah, this is a place I want to be. It's a great area. It's a great atmosphere. And I really do think facilities mean everything. And I'm sure with this project, that will definitely put that to good use. And I'm very excited about all of this. I was genuinely excited. I saw some of the pictures from the meeting from Kevin Libby, and those first pictures I saw, I was absolutely shocked. I was just stunned by how amazing this idea is, this project. Well, it was an idea. Now it's coming into fruition, and it's very exciting. I'm sure. I mean, Wes, when you went to the meeting, Wes, your thoughts on this one, this whole project, and
to see it laid out and visualized on something that we anticipated for a number of years, and to see it laid out in front of us on that big screen, it was especially for someone who's been here, not just been around this area for a long time, but now has been around this program for a number of years and has seen it rise from a NAIA athletic school to now potentially a couple of days away, which leads you to my next point, which is that we could have another big time milestone, and this will be the biggest one yet for USCB athletics, and the call could come very soon, Gina. And if everything goes well, the Sand Sharks will be officially full members of Division II athletics. And you mentioned the date; it's coming up soon. Is the excitement building for you and the staff?
It is, and I want to correct Max on one thing. I don't think facilities are the only thing that matters, but they are a key piece. Obviously,
agreed. Yes,
100%. Coaches who are going to develop you as a person and athletically. A campus that cares. USB has all those things, but facilities are a piece of that, and we do lack on that, and we know that. And so, the ability for our coaches to bring in who we bring in, it just shows what kind of coaches they are and the ability they have to recruit. But yes. So July the 10th, we have a call with NCAA. It's scheduled at 9 a.m. And we have been for the last 4 years, because we had a year of application and working on application documents, 3 years provisional. And hopefully we're going to get that call at 9 a.m. on the 10th to tell us that we are now full members of NCAA with no restriction. And that would mean that we are now eligible for postseason play in the NCAA. And if you look back at this last year with, McLean winning the individual title for women's golf at Peach Belt, for men's golf winning the team title, and men's basketball being runners up in the Peach and being ranked in the region, all of them should have had postseason opportunities had we not been provisional members. And so we've already made quite a bit of waves already in the Peach and within our region, and people are already looking at us. And so to be able to actually keep going and be able to compete nationally would be amazing. And so we look forward to that, what that means for our student athletes, what that means for recruiting going forward for this new chapter that's part of USCB athletics. But to be part of this process, really from the point we became NAIA to now this transition to D2, like it's special. And yes, the excitement's mounting. We are actually had a conversation today about a campus celebration in September, which would be actually our membership date in which we become full members. So we're working on that, and stay tuned for that. We want our community to show up and celebrate with us, because this is big. And Bracken actually worked on a shirt today. Our student athlete shirt this year is going to say the Low Countries NCAA team. So
yes, I like that. Love that.
That's big, and we're so excited. And it's been a lot of work, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, but it would not happen without the dedication of not only the people in athletics, but across campus. This has been a cross-campus project. Has been a lot of work from the registrar's office, admissions, financial aid, and obviously our university administration. And so there are a lot of people to thank that have worked hard behind the scenes, have traveled with us to meet NCAA mandates for different types of education. And so we are super appreciative for the people who've worked hard in making this transition easy. As we meet with other people and that are in this transition process, their road hasn't been as easy as ours, because we've had campus buy-in that they've not had. And so we are very fortunate for the vision of our campus and for the vision of the people who work with us on a daily basis.
Now,
Bracken,
Gina and Bracken, y'all, one of you might be able to answer this question. For those who weren't at the meeting the other night and would like to see those renderings and what the future of USCB's campus will look like, how are they able to access those renderings and able to see those renderings?
I know we have those brochures in our office. We have a couple of them. I don't know if it's gone up yet on the USCB website.
Okay. I don't think so. I know Quinn mentioned this previously not years, but a few months back when there was, or maybe it was last summer when there was a rendering released by Yahoo or something like that, where we'll release a story on our athletic website to kind of present everything.
Awesome.
Moving forward. And then I do know that Carol Weir, one of the communications people up in the front of Hargray, posted on the official USCB athletic or USCB Facebook page.
Yeah.
A couple of pictures. So there's obviously the one, Max, that you posted of the rendering of the arena. And then I know there was one that had the
entire layout.
Kind of the look of what the inside of the arena could also look at.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
It also has a campus map where it shows the layout.
Does it? Okay.
The layout. Okay.
And track and field. And so again, like I've gotten a couple questions from baseball alum and even current baseball players of, what about our fields? Because there's been a lot of, more focus and drawings and stuff on the arena, but baseball and softball are priority in that. And so as soon as we get that approval, then they will start working on the drawings for baseball and softball, and we will be moving along. So it's exciting.
Yeah, exciting time. I mean, this is what we've been eyeing for a number of years, and and now it's coming closer and closer, and the renderings have been shown in that public meeting a couple yesterday, and now we're right on track to get to making these visions of reality, just like we did with basketball. Now, some broader and even bigger goals at hand, and we are making some great strides towards accomplishing all of them, and including, as we just mentioned, potential full status in Division II athletics would be quite the accomplishment for this athletic program. But while we have you, I wanted to just recap a bit of what we have seen witness this past year, including the very first Peach Belt Championship, although Finnegan technically got that with the mascot challenge, but the first team.
He's a two-time.
He's had it twice.
He's got it twice.
Indeed. Yep.
He won't let anybody forget about it, by the way.
We talked with Finnegan a little bit how he's going to try and retain it, because, he lost it 2 years ago to Augusta, or last year to Augustus.
Yep.
And, thankfully, we reclaimed that title. But I know Finnegan's got some good ideas on how we can.
He's definitely got some tricks up his sleeve.
Obviously, Finnegan won the mascot challenge, but we got our first team championship in men's golf this past spring. So Eric Reingart getting the individual title alongside the team championship. So, just talk me through that run, that tournament, and how proud you were of that group of young men and that coaching staff, and how they can help set the table for a lot more success, not just in men's golf, but across the landscape here at USCB sports as a whole. But just recap that incredible accomplishment and then milestone for the Sand Shark Athletics program to get that first Peach Belt title, and how much it meant to you to see that unfold. Both of you.
Go ahead, Bracken. You start.
Okay. Well, honestly, it really I don't want to say it like a turnaround or anything like that, but when the calendar flipped to January and they started at the Thomas Sharkey individual collegiate, that was kind of the moment that everything started clicking for our guys. We kind of found our core five that were going to be basically where Corey knew, hey, these are the five guys I'm penciling in every tournament. And then right after that one, it was a top 3 finish every time. We were one stroke away from winning the Savannah Intercollegiate. Of course, we took home the Oldfield Classic, finished second at the Pawleys Island Beach Bash, and second at the Ralph Hargett Memorial right before conference. And it was really anchored by Eric, and Eric really just started moving up. And then Aaron was also keeping tails with him. And it was so much fun to watch, because Sean, our director of compliance, is one who always will send big messages. He's the first one to send a message to the group chat very quickly. So as soon as we get something in there, something positive, he's either seconds after the round is finished and he's sending something positive, or not long after, but he's usually the one who sends it out. And I'll get it and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm doing something else and I don't have the live scoring up. But Eric really did such a phenomenal job, and you kind of look at where he finished. It was really that the Oldfield Classic, when we propelled our way up into the top 15 in the country, and then we kind of stayed right there. Corey was trying to explain a little bit how the rankings work, and it's very interesting to know how, like, as depending on how teams go or whatnot, but to make that jump, it's just incredible. And watching the conference championship over Easter weekend, we were like, it was like a 9 under first round, and we were like, oh my goodness, there was not a soul, like not a team within 10 strokes. It was so, like, we were so up there. We're like, okay, let's go. And that was fun. And Eric and McLean, who both really proud of McLean, as she even said, that she had such an up and down year, because she did so well last year. So coming into her junior year, expectations were high. She was taken over as the number one after Ashley left. And, she had one top 3 finish, and it was the one that mattered. And it was the best one. She played absolutely lights out, and it was great to see her do that too. So
what it takes, trying to play your best when it matters the most.
Excited for next year and see what they're going to do. So,
you look at McLean. She was just a junior this year, so she has another year, and then your men's golf champion, a lot more golf coming his way over here in the Low Country. So I mean, it's just incredible stuff there, especially by that men's golf team and athletic as a whole. Obviously, we talked about it yesterday, but what men's basketball did on that incredible run all the way to the Peach Belt Championship game. We've talked about that team before and the excitement that generated for the community and the promising signs on the women's side as well. And I think basketball has done a lot to really amplify the total community support. Obviously, we have had that throughout the sports that we have seen for a while. Baseball and softball have drawn a great crowd and have continued to do so. But I think there is really something special that has been made, especially this past year, when you look at those basketball programs. So, I mean, just in general, the community support, both of you talk about how much that has meant and how you are trying to tailor this new era of St. Shark Athletics and eventually that new convocation center. How are you keeping those spectators in mind that this is for them and you want them to maintain the role that you have seen them maintain in terms of that incredible support throughout the years and continue to be amplified these last years especially. But talk to me about how excited you are to see the support grow and grow as these new plans unfold.
Like you talk about just the community engagement piece we've had in basketball alone, and we have great season ticket holders who now are friends with the season ticket holders who sit beside them, and so they want to make sure they're already emailing to make sure they get those same seats next year because they like the people they sit around, and so just to be able to start creating a different, like that family atmosphere, even amongst our spectators, as part of USB Athletics, that's exciting. And then to just be able to share about our other programs while we have basketball games. So honoring our academic award winners, honoring our female student athletes for Women in Sports Day, like all those things, being able to obviously, we talk about it quite a bit, being able to partner with Special Olympics and being able to gauge community organizations outside of USCB and even, student groups within USCB. And so it's a big part of building our community. And I remember it was some hurricane, some name storm was coming through, and I was taking our propane tank back to Publix to have it exchanged. And my oldest son, was standing by the propane tanks, and he had on a USCB student athlete shirt. And some older gentleman came by and goes, "Oh, that's that JUCO down the road." And I was like, "We're not a JUCO," because people didn't know what NAI means. And so just the addition of basketball, this transition to NCAA D2, like it almost like helps like legitimize our programs more, where people are like, "Oh, like it's not like," and there's nothing wrong with JUCOs, please don't get me wrong, but we weren't a JUCO and that wasn't our identity, but we were assumed to be. And so having like that recognition of the blue disc, like the marketing value of the blue disc and then what NCAA does, it speaks volumes. And so having that now, or hopefully finally attributed to us officially in July, until we get that yes, it's still a little bit nervous. But we try not to jinx anything. We're sports people. We get superstitious. So, but what it means and what it means to our student athletes and the experience that it provides them and then the experience it provides the community, all of it's something that we continue to build on and make even better year after year. And then just to speak about some things that Quinn said yesterday, people may not always know about our student athletes, but our department GPA is a 3.23. Like that's amazing. You think of what these students, like, they train for their sport. Some of them work part-time. they're up at lifts at 5 a.m. and just the time management that it takes to continue to have a high GPA, and they excel in academics. We have a 19% higher graduation rate than this general student body. And those are all things we are so proud of. All the work they do in the community and how they do outreach. Our student athlete advisory committee has done amazing work. We brought home another award for the Peach Belt this year in July, the Community Connections Award, where they started sponsoring the Flybrary at Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. And we were able at one of our basketball games to collect almost 500 books, I believe was what the number was. Yeah. But being recognized for the work that they're doing and leading community connections within the Low Country. We have 2 of our SAC members who serve as SAC leadership in the conference level as president and vice president, or chair and vice chair. So all of those are great things that we're able to take part of, and we're seeing great leadership out of our student athletes, not only at USCB, but at the conference level. And then we have a contingent going to Denver in October, I forget the date, for Apple Institute, which is helping develop a more robust drug and alcohol prevention and education program for our department, and putting that into place. And so it's representative of student athletes, some administration within athletics, but also cross-campus community with some staff on campus and housing, and our team dietitian. So all of those are like great things that are happening that people may not always know about, but we have great leadership within our student athletes, and we are so proud of that. And just the opportunities that NCAA brings us to be able to participate in more of those opportunities.
Yeah, it's the community outreach right now. Like, I mean, it's always been the people who have come to events love our Sand Sharks. Basketball has exacerbated that and made it, expanded it and grown it. And like Gina said, you build that sense of family, and you get those season ticket holders who are like, oh, hey, you should come to a game. The guy from Nova Health yesterday who was talking, he's like, he went to a couple of games, and he said it was the most fun that he and his teenage boys had at a college basketball game. You know, that's my only caveat about the arena, is that we're not going to have that close knit on top. Very true. Me.
Yeah,
but I'll take the arena over that. But it's going to be the atmosphere is still going to be there. It's all about the game day atmosphere that makes everybody, you know, that makes it for our student athletes, and all about the student athlete.
And shout out to game day operations for the job that they did. You're obviously you have done a great job directing all that, but the game day operations workers, especially for basketball, but all of our sports, have done an outstanding job, and it's my pleasure to continue to be a part of it, be the St. Shark Game Day Network, and the calls for those games.
I was on the phone with Donald for about an hour, just a little bit. So we were just, you know, catching up, talking about everything, and was telling him a little bit about this, and he's excited for it. You know, he's somebody who was assigned to us on opening night 11/11 in 2023, and he was actually a backup because the guy who was supposed to go was sick, and then all of a sudden Donald became our guy, and he's family, and I mean, literally
he's awesome.
We love him, and he's going to be a part of this as we go on. He's like,
right.
He literally said, as long as you want to have me, I'm going to be there. So
I honestly think one of the coolest moments of the entire USCB school year was that home playoff game for men's basketball this year. By far one of my favorite moments being around USCB sports this year was seeing, you know, just the atmosphere of that home playoff game, and, you know, just what it meant, not only for the USCB staff to host a home playoff game, but also just to see what the atmosphere was, just sold out, people standing near the entryways to the gym, just seeing all of it. And honestly, there were a couple moments like I almost was brought to tears because I just saw the growth of the school just right in front of us with just one basketball game. Just shows that the community has the back of USCB, and, you know, we'll always continue to support it even through the best and worst of times. I just really was really awestruck by, and that was one of my favorite moments this season, was watching that men's basketball team take that win in that first round home playoff game. Just absolutely amazing atmosphere. And yeah, like you said, Bracken, I think that's one of the things I'm going to miss when we go to that new arena, but I hope that energy still stays when we go to the new arena. I really hope the energy continues to go there. And because it's just really special. I mean, we've talked about it before with that gym during this season. It is the toughest place to play in the Peach Belt Conference, 100%.
They proved it.
Because it just gets so loud in there, and it's just it's a raucous atmosphere, but it is a fantastic thing to be a part of. And I can't wait to do more seasons of being a part of USCB basketball.
Yeah, I think like with the new facility, obviously acoustics would be important. We've talked about doing things like In Market does, where you block off seating with the pull downs and stuff like that, so that you're pushing people down. So we can continue as much as possible that atmosphere, that loud atmosphere. Obviously, want to have great student sections in the end zones where, Finnegan and his friends can be rowdy. And so
and we need the Marines
a little bit
back.
more room for Finnegan to be rowdy, because they can't apparently be on the baseline all the time, is what we've learned this year. So, but I think there's some things that we can do to continue that, how special where the Cove is right now, and just continue that momentum whenever we open the arena, which still years from now. So we got plenty more time to continue a tradition within the Cove and build on that. But yeah, so I think
we want that ability to kind of say, hey, we are sold out. We're having to turn people away. And I think, I mean, Gina, we spent what, an hour putting those towels out on the chairs. Like when we
spent
do
longer
that,
trying to get them to campus, but yeah, it took an hour to put the chairs.
Let's not talk about that one. But getting those out there and just taking that moment to lay those out, and then getting the picture and seeing them, and then you also taking some of the extra ones up to Columbus, where we had that game against Columbus State, and then it was just, the score doesn't read it, but that final game in the PBC championship game, like, it was a lot closer than the final score.
No doubt.
Yes, 100%.
And I ran to the campus real quick to grab those towels, and I was like, I'll just take like 35, 40 of them. We won't have that many. Like, it'd be enough for however many fans we had. We didn't have enough. Like, our fans travel, and that's a lot of,
because I remember
our parents travel very well, and they're very loud.
Yes, I remember watching. I remember watching the live stream for those games. I remember watching them. I was like, boy, we have a lot more fans than I thought we were going to have that would make the trip up.
Seeing the towel
in Columbus. I just saw all the towels start moving around. I was like, good Lord. Okay. That's what I love to see. I mean, that's what you want to see. If you're not only a USCB fan, but also a student athlete, as well as a USCB athletic staffer, and just in general, a USCB staffer, a teacher, a professor, anyone on that campus, you see the support away from home. That shows, you're doing something right, and that something's definitely cooking with USCB athletics, and it's only going to get better from here.
Bracken, just reflect on how rewarding it has been to be a part of this and to serve in this role, and just give some compliments and shout outs to Gina and Quinn for their work and guiding this entire process to where it is now as we continue to build excitement into these next couple of days. But how rewarding, how exciting has this overall process and journey been for you?
I mean, it's been a dream come true. When I made that, I have a really strong memory about this. But I walked into the office and I was looking for Gina, and this was back in the summer of 2022. I walked in there and I was like, it was just after we made the announcement that we were making the transition. And the first thing I came into her office was like, how can I help? And she was like, let's talk with Mitch. You got to give Mitch, some credit too. He was there during the first year of the process. And so, I mean, that's how Wes, I hopped on board and started broadcasting with you again, or that first time we got to broadcast together. But this whole thing, being in this role, was is my dream job. It's always been. I think I joke about it that, I never really left when I graduated, and I came back and kept doing anything that I could, whether it be volunteering at opening rounds and watching our baseball games slide across the tarp at Grayson Stadium during the worst opening round.
Broken collarbone situation.
Broken collarbones, yeah.
Oh,
But I mean, those are the memories that I like, that will always be there with me. And continue watching, the first game of basketball, watching the first softball game, soccer, and being there, and still, being able to reach out to some of those alums who are friends, lifelong friends, Sam Furr, Christy Heesh, Michael Heesh Jr., all those people. I'm like, hey, it's coming. It's finally here. Here's some stuff to show you, and to see that, and that's just the most rewarding part. And honestly, I couldn't do anything without Gina. There's been times where I've walked in the office and just sat down and just wanted just take a big deep breath, because we're there and we're on day 75 of working straight. But we do what we do it because we love it. And that's you've got to love it, and you've got to be here for the long, to push through the tough times. And this is, watching us do this has been an amazing time, and I'm just excited for what's next. It's the next era is coming.
Well, the next era is coming for you as well. Since the last time we saw you on this show, this probably will be before we let you guys go, is you got engaged while you were off air with us.
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very fantastic scenery too. Doing in, what was it, Scotland, wasn't it? Really cool experience. Next era for you is beginning, I guess. Talk about how great of a moment that was, and that's another moment you will probably never forget in your time, not only with USCB but in your life. I think that was a really cool experience, and I was absolutely excited for you and for your fiance. Just talk about the moment, man. How great was that for you?
It was great, and I'm going to kind of just leave it at that. She is not very big on the publicity of stuff.
It's fine.
She totally was very much like, what? No, this is. But no, we're extremely happy, and it was a great time. And Scotland's beautiful. So if anybody ever gets to go and visit Scotland,
it is beautiful.
It's wonderful. I honestly, we got back in Charleston, and I said, when can we get back on a plane? Let's go. I was going to text you. I'm not coming in tomorrow. I'm going to be back.
Oh, well, congratulations to you and your future fiance. And I think that's probably going to be it for us with you guys. Really great news, really exciting future ahead for USCB. I mean, your guys' final thoughts on this huge announcement, and what the next school year brings for you guys.
Yeah, I'll say that in all of our jobs, there's a lot of work that goes unseen. And a lot of times people don't always feel like the needle's moving because there's things going on that we may not be able to publish or be able to announce yet. And so for all the people and all the work that happens behind the scenes that they don't often get recognition for within our jobs, it's appreciated. And all of those are pieces and bricks and things that build us to where we are right now. And so all of that's important things, important pieces of this process. And so there's a lot of people to thank, not only in athletics, but across campus who make all of this work. The partnership with our faculty, the partnership with our administration, the support of our administration, obviously the work of our coaches, the dedication of our student athletes. And so to be part of that on a daily basis, as Bracken said, there's some days where you're like, what is going on? And I am so tired right now, but I could not imagine working with a better staff than our USCB athletics staff. or with better student athletes, or doing anything that I love more than getting to know our student athletes and seeing them develop from the time that they walk in the door to the time they walk across the stage, because that is the ultimate goal, is making sure they graduate. And so we are getting ready to welcome a new class of student athletes into USCB athletics, and at that time, hopefully as full NCAA members. And we actually just, crazy enough, we're June 27th and met about Welcome Back Week already this week or today in a meeting, and what that looks like. And so that planning process is already underway, and there's no rest for the weary. It's to the next. And we're excited though. We continue to see student athlete population grow. We continue to see USCB grow, and there's a lot of great things on the horizon, not just for USCB athletics, but USCB as a whole. And so we cannot wait.
We cannot wait for the next chapter of USCB athletics, and it is coming up very quickly. I'm very proud and excited of all that you have done and all that is in front of you as you get ready for a potential big day ahead, coming up on the 10th of July, and then moving forward into another outstanding and exciting year of USCB athletics as we start to get excited and look ahead to what this could bring in the future, including a potential new convocation center, which would amplify just so much of what we love about USCB athletics and bringing baseball and softball on campus. And we are well on our way to making those dreams a reality. Thanks to you guys, Bracken Lambert, Gina Mopper. We appreciate all that you do, and we thank you for coming on and sharing all this excitement with us.
Of course, the next era is here. That's
yes, it is.
Let's hope
it is here.
So excited.
Yeah.
The next
guys,
era.
we appreciate you guys for hopping on with us. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, Wes.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Bracken Lambert and Gina Motford, we appreciate all that they do, and just so blessed to be a part of this journey this past year and over the last few years in particular, to see how quickly and how rapidly things have grown from being the Sun Conference now to bring in men's and women's basketball, and now to see them thriving in just 2 seasons and getting that first Peach Belt championship in men's golf alongside both the individual champ titles in men's and women's golf. So, I mean, just so much to be proud of and excited for over there at USCB.
Yeah, there's a lot to be excited for. And I did find those pictures, by the way, that was posted on Facebook, on USCB's Facebook page. And there's what the proposed look for the inside is. Wow. Just that's gorgeous. Godly. I'm excited, man. God, this is, I mean, honestly, this is one of the things that, you know, I not only as a fan, but now as someone who covers USCB athletics alongside you, Wes and Justin and everyone else at LowcoSports, I'm excited. This is really great. I cannot wait for this project to start and really get going. And we're a few years out from all of this stuff being, you know, somewhat completed, but man, the excitement is there. You know, like Bracken said, the next era of USCB is here. You know, and it's great. So we haven't done any sponsors, so I'm going to get into our sponsors now. The LowcoSports Lowdown is presented by Mickelson Law Firm.
We already did that one. We can skip
we already did that. That's right. We did do that one. We'll go to the next one. We welcome back Hudson Seafood House on the Docks to the Loco Booster Club. A great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. The presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. New episode aired earlier this week. Go check it out. It was a really good one. Wes Kerr helped out with that show, so please go check it out. Our 2 newest sponsors, Hilton Head Furniture, the Satola family, Larry Satola and Larry Satola Jr., and the rest of the Satola family and Hilton Head Furniture family. Great sponsors, bringing you great furniture, local made furniture as well, from just up the road in Hickory, North Carolina. So we appreciate them for joining us. as one of our newest sponsors. And, of course, our good friend, Coach Barron in Hilton Head Island Windows and Doors. Go if you ever need any cleaning on doors or redone doors and stuff like that, go check out Coach Barron's business, Hilton Head Island Windows and Doors. All right. Should we do the next set of sponsors? I think we're getting close to the point where we should
just wanted to before we get to the last round sponsors and parting thoughts. Just a reminder of the Diamond Youth Baseball that's going on.
It is going on right now. Actually, there are
yeah,
games being played right now. I do not have any scores. Hopefully, by our next show, which will probably be on Monday, I will have some scores by then of what took place over the weekend for Diamond Youth Baseball tournaments, but a lot are taking place right now across the great state of South Carolina, and hopefully we will get some scores sooner rather than later and get them to you by Monday to give you an update on what our LowcoSports teams, our district teams, and how they handled the menacing state tournaments for Diamond Youth Baseball.
Bluff American gets going tomorrow against Sumter American. That's in the 8U coach pitch tournaments. And then do we have any others going on? Oh, yeah. Actually, a couple of them are later. I know Ozone doesn't start until July.
Yes.
So does 10U. 6U, I believe, is also this weekend in Florence.
Yes, it is. I believe so. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so 6U. Bluffton will play Greenwood in that first game coming up tomorrow. And then I believe most of softball already happened. 8U softball, of course, you mentioned that they won that state tournament, so they will be going on to the World Series. We already had 12U softball and 10U softball. So baseball going on, 6U and 8U this weekend. We'll let you know on how those two teams fare if they're still alive by the time we record again on Monday. So
we'll give you some scoring updates regarding those teams. And of course, like we mentioned on our show Wednesday night, Dixie Boys tournaments will begin July 10th for both 13U and 14U. Very likely chance that both Beaufort County teams from both age groups will make it to the World Series. There's a very good chance for both. So we'll keep you updated as that comes around as well. There are no district tournaments for this because there are none other than Beaufort County. There was no other district teams for Dixie Boys within our district this year. So both Beaufort County teams made it to the state tournament, and more than likely one of them will make it to the World Series, if not both. So we will keep you updated on those as well. All right. Let's get to our last sponsors here. Base It Life, our baseball and softball themed apparel. Great, just really great looking hoodies, t-shirts, and other things. Go check out Base It Life and live your best Base It Life at baseitlife.com. Dr. Ambrose Cole, the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he will get you feeling right mind, body, and spirit. The Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. Great facilities right down the road from where I live, right next to the Planet Fitness in Bluffton. You can go check out Reverence Wrestling over in Bluffton. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lone Country. Floor so clean your feet will thank you. And, of course, Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. And a lot of people go out and check Jay's Barbershop as well. All right. Parting thoughts. And there are, I have one at the moment. I'm trying to think of what my other one is, but the first one is I wanted to share with everyone. Alex Hunt, a very big advocate for athletics, youth athletics here in Beaufort County, especially for Beaufort County Parks and Recs, is unfortunately leaving the Beaufort County area. His last day for Beaufort County Parks and Recs was today. I got to celebrate with him as he is, of course, my boss for Beaufort County Parks and Recs. He has led multiple Dixie Boys teams to World Series appearances, and I believe he won one of those Dixie Boys World Series. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was back in the early 2010s when he was here coaching for Dixie Boys baseball back during their last World Series appearance as Beaufort County. When they won it all against Mississippi too, I think. So It's really sad to lose such a great coach and great advocate for youth athletics here in the Low Country, but he's taken that youth athletic experience with him and is going to the high school level, as he will become an AD for a high school near his hometown in Louisiana. So, Alex, I love you, man. I wish you all the best. And thank you so much for what you've done for Beaufort County in terms of youth athletics here in the LowcoSports scene. So farewell, Alex Hunt, and good luck in your future endeavors, my friend. What was the other one? I can't remember. Well, the Atlanta Braves are in a rain delay as of right now. They are currently not playing.
Okay.
Or otherwise, I talk about how devastating the Atlanta Braves have been for me. Other than that, I don't have any other parting thoughts, so I'll leave it to Wes Kerr for his parting.
Well, kind of what we said. Well, you mentioned that you thought this guy was going to be a part of the home run derby. We mentioned Ronnie Acuna Jr., Cal Raleigh, big dumper, who
yes, that's right,
led the way in home runs this year. He's eclipsed the 30 mark.
I called it, ladies and gentlemen. I called it. I definitely called it.
But indeed, Cal Raleigh will represent the Seattle Mariners in the home run derby, which I kind of feel like if you're the home run leader, I feel like you're obligated to participate. It's kind of sometimes you guys, especially the older guys, they've done it before. They're ready to move on. And I kind of feel I think you want to see a mix of some of those, like the home run leaders, but also some of the younger guys. I feel like you got to give everyone a chance to be part of this. But obviously, he's a shoo-in. 32 home runs this year as a catcher. I mean, which is just absurd to see what he has done.
It's ridiculous
at that position. And I mean, it's not like he came out of nowhere. He was mashing the ball the last couple of years, but this season, I don't think anyone would have predicted this first half that he has had as a catcher to be on pace for over 60 home runs in a season is just truly phenomenal. So,
and he, like we said the other night, you go ahead, Wes. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what I'm saying is that sometimes when the guys play on the West Coast, they just don't get that much appeal compared to like if Raleigh played for a team on the East Coast like the Yankees, the Red Sox, or another one of those high market teams on the East Coast. But I'll tell you what, if you're putting those numbers up like that, you're going to get noticed, and this is the perfect venue for everyone, all baseball fans, all sports fans, to see what he can do at the plate. And that's what we love about the All-Star game. Not as much in the compared to the era before you and I were born, where they only had like 2 or 3 games on in the country, and you couldn't watch baseball as readily as you do now, and that's why everyone loved the All-Star game that much more. But even so, just to see the best duke it out for home run derby title, there really isn't anything like that. As I mentioned, in all of All-Star games, there's nothing that comes close. And to see Cal Raleigh with a 4 home run lead on both Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, I don't think anyone would have predicted that at any point in the season. So,
absolutely not. And the other thing, we talked about this the other night. He's putting up records. He's making history this season because he is currently right now only one of 2 Seattle Mariners in their franchise history that has hit 30 home runs before the All-Star break. The other one, like we mentioned the other night, Ken Griffey Jr. did it 3 times during his time as a Seattle Mariner. And Cal Raleigh is only the 2nd player in franchise history to have hit 30-plus homers before the All-Star break. And to have 32 homers before the All-Star break, like you said, absolutely amazing and just incredible. And he's been around for at least a couple of years now with the Seattle Mariners, and he's been a great player for them, but he's really turned it up a notch this season. And came out of nowhere, and everybody's like, where did Cal Raleigh come from? And to lead homers by 4 over Aaron Judge and and Shohei Ohtani. I mean, that's just absolutely unbelievably an amazing first half of the season. And I will love to see him at the home run derby. I think it's, like you said, it's kind of an obligation. If you're going to lead the league in home runs, you probably should be taking part in the home run derby. So I'm very happy that he's going to be there. And I look forward to seeing who else decides to join the home run derby as well, alongside Cal Raleigh and Ronald Acuna Jr.
Well, so far off to a pretty strong start with those 2 taking the part of that. Two of, I mean, you got one of the most electric hitters in all of baseball, and then the league leader, both American and National League of home runs. So pretty cool stuff. And to have it in Atlanta, that draws a lot of local attention. There are a lot of Braves fans around here, so I'm sure a lot of them will be wearing their Acuna jerseys coming up in a few weeks. Do you got anything else?
I do not. Well, no, I don't. Although I will say, in the third inning, the Atlanta Braves are down 11-0 to the Marlins. So I'm not watching that game tonight. I'll just tell you right now. But other than that, no, I got nothing else tonight. Other than just everyone have a great weekend. Stay safe. The weather's been pretty hot as of late.
Just reflecting on one more time USCB. I mean, just awesome. Just one more thanks for Gina and Bracken to take time out of their Friday nights and do this with us and to share this incredible journey that they've been on.
Yeah, and you can see it. You can see the excitement on their faces about this project because it's been a long-awaited arrival of a project like this on this campus, and you could see it on their faces, the excitement, the smiles that they had the entire time interviewing with us. I think they're just as excited, if not more excited, than you and I are. And so it's a great experience. And yes, thank you so much, Gina and Bracken, for coming on to the show and talking with us about this. And hopefully we'll get some more news regarding, the baseball and softball fields as that comes along, as that project proceeds, and hopefully get some drawings in the future of what those baseball and softball fields could look like, around the time that they start deciding to go forward with this project. But yeah, a lot of excitement around USCB. What a great start of a new era for USCB. Just absolutely beautiful. And I'm looking at the layout now on their Facebook account. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait.
I am incredibly excited to see that become fruition in the years to come, and to eventually have baseball and softball on campus. We've talked about a bunch that we've been hoping that would happen in the future, and we are well on our way now. And save the date, July 10th could be a big day for the Sand Sharks. They're going to get that call, and odds are it's looking pretty good that they will get that.
It is looking very good.
They're going to be
looking really good. I'm very excited.
Members.
And so I think that's probably going to be it for us.
That'll do it. Yeah, pretty much all I got for today. But we thank you once again for tuning in, watch or listen. We thank a big thank you to Gina Montford and Bracken Lambert, all the work they have done to make this moment possible and the future possible. But we're going to see over there in Bluffton and beyond for USCB athletics and the university at large. But big thank you to those two for coming on tonight. Thank you, Max, for joining me here once again tonight. We'll be back on Monday. We will recap all the Diamond Youth Baseball tournaments going on, and we will set the stage for some more to come over there in the coming weeks. So hope everyone has a nice weekend. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and take some time to enjoy the outdoors when it's not too hot out there. But we thank all of you for listening and or watching. For Max Arraj, this is Wes Kerr saying good night, and until next time, go Loco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco!